Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. You guys know on Sundays, I usually shoot from the car, and I'm going to do that. And at the end, I give something inspirational. Let's just talk about, I actually want to shout out Me Kevin. I want to shout out Me Kevin right now because about a year ago, he sold his entire portfolio. A lot of people got on his case, right? And then when I think about it, I actually did the same thing. I just didn't phrase it the same way. And what I mean by that is, as you guys know, at the end of 2021, I said, hey, it's time to start taking profits, which basically was the same thing he did. He just framed it. He sold everything. We took profits, and I sold about 80% of my portfolio. And was just continued to keep what I was dollar cost averaging into, but I sold it because I saw that the market was frothy. It was weighted heavy, right? And what I'm going to tell you is myself, all of the guys, the core four, anybody that you're listening to, just remember, take what we say. I'm not going to say with a grain of salt, but take it as part of your information so that you make decisions. Now, there's a lot going on in the markets, and a lot of people will be feeling like they missed out, whether it's crypto, whether it's individual stocks, right? Especially stock like Tesla. That could continue to run next week, and you have to do what's best for you. That's why we say anything we say is not a suggestion to buy, hold, or sell. Having said all of that, here's my belief still. I still believe that, yes, there's a lot of mixed signals, right? You got fundamentals, and you have the charts are saying this, and the fundamentals is saying this on Monday, and it's saying this on Tuesday. The chart is saying this on Monday, and it's saying this on Tuesday, based on all of these key components changing, forever changing. So this video today is all about you simply being ready to pivot, because if you look in a micro environment, everything looks bullish right now, okay? But when you look at a macro environment, it looks like that bullishness will be short term, and then I see it coming back down. So for those of you that believe that you missed out on the Tesla run, I believe that Tesla will run up this coming week. You'll have some bounce. But I also believe in the long term, Tesla could turn around and break through under $100 a share. And that's what I believe. Now, it may not be factual just because I believe it, but this whole video is about you not having FOMO. The same thing with crypto. I believe the exact same thing with crypto. Crypto could run up. I believe it could start running again, and everybody piles in, and everybody feels like I missed the bottom. If crypto comes back down to support or breaks below support, I'm not going to waste any time saying I told you so. I'm going to say, are you buying now? That's what I'm going to say. And I think stock like Tesla will fall under $100. That's when I'm going to say, are you buying now? That's when I'm going to encourage you to buy. But what can I do until then? What can you do until then? In stocks, dollar cost average, because I am dollar cost averaging with Tesla and other, that's in my $5 a day. I'm going to keep saying that. What I suggest for people in crypto is what I've been saying: accumulate. I have not, because I have a different plan, but we're in the accumulation phase. Then what should you be doing? Simply accumulate, and don't have FOMO. Don't go in and buy big chunks. And I'm going to stand behind that because I've been down this road before. I've read this book. I know how it ends, right? So you guys see a shoulder. This is my morning, my Sunday morning or afternoon, whenever you see it. This is how we kind of discuss for a few, and then I leave some space at the end for inspiration. I'm going to let Josh have a few words. I'm going to close out, and then I have something that I recorded on yesterday that truly inspired me. So let's get Josh in here.
Hey,
Right.
Good morning, Stock Up family. So I just want to go over 3 points that are related to crypto. The first one is that we have to keep a broader, longer view. If you did not dollar cost average over the last 6 months where we've been bouncing along the bottom, then that means that you weren't looking ahead. That's what it means. Now, right now, we've got, Larry's brought up many times the Wyckoff cycle pattern. He has showed it numerous times and explained it. I'm going to just delve on a simple point that can give you guys confidence that you're going to get a chance to buy crypto again at a lower price than it is today. And that's the Wyckoff pattern. One of the things that it shows us is that when it goes and breaks a previous high, it'll make a higher high. But the next stage, okay, is to make a higher low, right? So what the previous high that we were dealing with was around 22K. And for the pattern to be validated, we have to break back below 22K. And that's where we might get to 20, 18, 17, or as low as 16.5. And we need to establish a higher low. We know that the previous low was 16.5 range. And so we know it's going to be above that. So somewhere between 16.5 and 20K for the big moves up to be validated has to be established if that Wyckoff pattern is going to be believed.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go on another important thing just to give you guys some perspective of why we need to be looking at the fundamentals ahead and not just stuck in the moment, which is the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade. Larry, all of the Ethereum that's been staked for the last 3 years,
Yep.
These people have not had access to it. Began in December of 2020. And imagine if you had staked all of your Ethereum in December of 2020 and you watched Ethereum run all the way up to almost 5K, I think it was 4,600.
Yep.
And then you got to watch it run all the way back
down.
down. Now, you know people's lives are complicated. This stuff has happened in the last 3 years.
Yes.
People need access to those funds. And here, coming up in March, 45 days away, they're going to have the opportunity to finally sell and get some of that needed cash. There's folks, like, I hate to even mention it, there's folks got divorced in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So they need to turn over half that Ethereum to somebody.
That's it.
So for perspective, it's 16 million ETH. Now, that's not $16 million worth of ETH. That's 16 million individual ETH, valued at 20 billion. That's going to be hitting the market in the next 45 days. Now, that's just one reason, Larry.
What is that going to do to the market?
That's going to cause selling pressure. That's just one reason ahead of us why crypto still has the opportunity to come down. Yeah, well, Larry had said many times he's not trying to catch the bottom, right? He made his decision. I'm just characterizing. We and I haven't talked about this.
Yeah.
He wanted to pick a moment in which the market had hit bottom and possibly validated that bottom by moving back up, which is all part of the Wyckoff, schedule.
Yes.
And so he knew that he would go in hard then. And again, I mentioned this the last time we talked about this.
Yep.
You have a dollar amount of crypto
Absolutely.
that you intend to reinvest at that time.
Yes.
I remember when Meet Kevin cashed out, and I remember when you cashed largely your position
Yes.
out. It wasn't popular.
No, it wasn't.
There's tons of heat that I saw in the comment section.
I got a lot of heat, but it wound up being the perfect time.
It did wind up being right. I want to throw out one more issue with
ahead.
crypto. You've got the Genesis, you've got the Gemini, and you've got the Grayscale. There is obviously a problem with the Genesis bankruptcy, and that's flooding into Gemini, and it's going to dramatically affect the market. Now, some people will say that some of that's been priced in, but in my mind, these are like dominoes. These exchanges are still affecting each other. There's debt that one has to the other, and it keeps unwinding. And I'm just going to say that we haven't even seen the worst of that. I think the worst of these exchanges failing was FTX.
Yeah.
But the overall impact, when this market stops, if it hits a wall at 24, which is what I said, 24, 25K on Bitcoin, if it hits that wall and begins to come back, then all the news stories are going to pile back in, focusing on Genesis, Gemini, and Grayscale, questioning if Grayscale is going to fall apart. And then you're going to see that price driven down on fear.
You know what else is going to happen? People that didn't buy lower, that is going to buy Bitcoin at 23, and if it goes back down, they're going to tap out.
They're going to capitulate
And
again
they're going
out
to
of fear.
Twice I lost, and they're going to be out.
Yep.
And so that's when whatever Bitcoin drops back down to this cycle, if the Wyckoff cycle is, and I believe it, If it comes back down, whatever that is, if it's 16, if it's 18, you and I both believe that it's probably not going to be 14, but it could. It could. It could be 14, but if it's 16, if it's 18, if it's 19.5, whatever it is, that's when I'm going to start to go back in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to catch the absolute bottom. Like you're saying, I'm trying to see a supportive bottom, see where it is, and I don't mind buying higher.
Two more thoughts before I'm done. I do believe I spent more time in the charts this morning. I see room for the markets to move upside. I called out yesterday, and this was a change.
These specific stocks.
Stocks,
Yeah.
and crypto.
Yeah, okay.
I think that the run up that we're going to see in stocks is also going to contribute to an additional run up to crypto.
Absolutely.
I think that we could get to 24, 25 on Bitcoin, but I think we're going to get to the 4,200 area on the S&P 500. That's a big prediction.
Yeah.
What that would do for us is it would cause us to back test the 100-day moving average. Now, I went back and I was studying the 2008, 2009. I was studying all the recessions this morning just before I came up to meet with you.
Yeah.
And we also, when we had that much bigger move down in 2008, 2009, we did have a move very similar to the one we're in right now, where we back tested the 100-day moving average before we eventually came back for a much bigger move. So, you guys, I know you're going to hear a lot of voices, but I agree with what Larry said at the beginning of this, which is you need to do your own research for your own money. You can take what other people are saying and check it against what you're researching and thinking, because these are big financial decisions. These are shifts.
And be ready
Yeah.
to pivot.
I went from bearish last week, believing that we could potentially break below 3,800 and continue down,
Right.
to this week, based on changes I saw, I'm now believing that there is room up till the remainder of this month. That's what I believe. That's how I'm investing my money. And like you said earlier,
Yes.
I could be wrong, but I'm doing my research. Everyone needs to do their own.
So what we're saying is there's a short-term plan and there's a long-term plan.
Yeah.
And there's, right now, you can actually start swinging. You can start swinging in crypto. You could be in a swing. Josh knows I showed a play that I got in Thursday evening. I didn't bring it to the family because it was an option play. And you guys know I don't discuss a lot of option plays. So I'm not the option teacher. Keenan is. Y'all go check out his Discord. I got into an option play and I shared it with Josh. I was up $6,300. So I shared it with Josh and I got out. And if I would have stayed in, I would have been up $13,000.
Well, we even did some additional calculation. It was 20K.
20,000.
Yeah, it was 20K.
If I would have stayed in this option play, I would have been in $20,000. But I told Josh, I said, I won. It was a play that I was just going to get in and get out, and it was going to be little money. And then I saw where I believe it was support. And I started to pile back in. It was GE Healthcare. And I got in and it started to run again. But never have FOMO, because it could absolutely turn around, which it does in most times, and then come down and you lose all your winnings looking at what you could have had. So my message in this is green is green. A win is a win. And I'll take the 63 rather than not been in the play at all. So I don't look at it would have been nice to have that 20K. But hey, we're going to leave it right there, good people. This one is longer because, of course, it's two of us. We have a lot of information that we like to share with you. It's Sunday, and I like to leave something inspirational. And that is, yesterday I was at Guitar Center, and I was complaining about my allergies, and I know it has a lot to do with this area. And I walked in, my eyes were red, and I saw a young man on the keyboard playing. And when I saw, and he was playing like shouting music, like joyful music. And when I saw he had one hand and his other hand was gone, and he was playing the piano. And I said, I have nothing to be complaining about.
Amen.
It humbled me and it inspired me. So I'm going to leave you guys with this young man playing on the keyboard in Guitar Center. Let that be the inspiration for you today. All right. Live, love, laugh, learn, and earn.
Peace and blessings, friends.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. shout music you was doing.